I would like to invite Mukesh now, a very dear friend of mine. He's based out of Bangalore. And 2012, Mukesh has been doing amazing work, in field of bringing planning and buying of advertising together. Mukesh works very consistently with us across ShareChat and Moj platforms. Mukesh, welcome to the.
Thanks, Seema. Thanks a lot for the warm welcome. I think I'm one of the. Uh, just a second.
So while Mukesh is taking some time to come back, we'll just tell you Mukesh, the agency is called Media Ant and they're based out of Bangalore and several other locations. And here we have Mukesh back again.
Yes, sorry. So yeah, I'm one of the big believers of ShareChat, and I think the growth which it has in India, people have figured out, the ways to reach out to urban audiences, and the next set of our users or markets are your tier 2 tier 3 markets where ShareChat has huge presence, ShareChat and Moj. So we've been super happy to collaborate with Seema, her team, the entire team of ShareChat and Moj, and our campaigns have been super successful. So super happy to be here to answer some of the questions.
So Mukesh, how's the festive season looking on? Before we get into questions, is your team, your clients already onto it? You guys are started working on the festive campaigns.
Yeah, we pretty much there. I think this festive, the only dampener is startups are not firing yet, which probably they might skip this festive, and I'm quite hopeful that should be back by next festive. Having said that, the core sectors have started doing really well. If you look at some of the numbers of automobile, I think last month they did the highest ever in the since the automobile industry has been created in terms of month on month delivery of autos. So from that angle, I think there are sectors like automobile, there are real estate, there are
That's interesting, Mukesh. And I quite agree with Mukesh here because, uh, whether we talk of automobiles or we talk of FMCG, we talk of mobile industry, I think firmly the numbers are up there. And, we also see frequently, Mukesh, that our conversation with all these brands have started. Not only around
absolutely.
festive, but we're also talking heavily on the Asia Cup and World Cup.
Absolutely. So yeah, I think from a focus standpoint, we have started focusing on the key sectors which are festive, which are highly indexed on festive. So, for example, your consumer durable companies, companies which has direct to consumer market, fashion, travel, electronics, etc., etc. So we are already out there in the market. We have started decent amount of inquiries, and I'm looking forward to a good festive.
So brilliant. Good to know that, Mukesh. And while you say that, you guys are already out and your teams are, and your teams are talking about it, tell me what are those key marketing related focus areas for agency this festive season? And I'll tell you why I'm asking this question because today we have a lot of agency partners on this call today. And, what better to than learning from the leaders like you.
Sure.
So tell us about it, and so that actually people can learn from it, and probably they would have some questions for you as well.
Sure. Sure. So basically, if you look at overall advertising, it's all about reach, frequency, and the impact which you can create. So wherever there is high reach, wherever there is high frequency, or whichever media can give an impact, is the place where we would be putting monies of the brands we work with. So mediums like which has high frequency in nature, for example, outdoor, radio, etc. They witness a lot of pre-booking, and outdoor becomes a place where availability becomes a concern, especially during festive. So we are wherever we have outdoor requirements or wherever we feel the high frequency is required for a brand, we are already planning that right now and booking those sites. Otherwise, site availability will become a concern. In terms of radio, again, while you will get inventory, but a lot of impact properties will get sold out. So again, wherever there's high frequency and radio is a fit, we are booking those campaigns right away. In terms of high reach, nobody can deny today digital and TV has the highest reach in the country. Now in digital, again, you have various avenues to go after, whether it is social media, whether it is OTT, whether it is other news platform, etc., etc. So I think we are sort of again inventory is not a big concern there, but there are quite a few events lined up. For example, World Cup, your big boss. Then later on, you would have Shark Tank as well. So the planning for World Cup has to happen now, and we are already doing that. So in fact, a lot of bookings today we are doing is for World Cup, so that the brands are able to catch on to the festival plus the whole frenzy of cricket and World Cup. So overall, in nutshell, if I have to put it, I think digital is a big one. Outdoor, radio are the three big ones for us plus World Cup.
Very interesting. So you spoke of different media vehicles, and it is actually quite informative. Okay, so when we're talking about, specifically short video platforms, are you guys also creating some specific, or are you telling your clients or the creative agencies to actually get that festival flavor in all the campaigns? Because short video platform is something where the impact is felt immediate. It's like right bang on, and we are talking to the truest audience that we can, and they are very honest
Absolutely.
about their feedback. So tell me, what is it that keeping this particular section of digital media? So what are your plans? I mean, are you talking about specific creatives?
So in terms of we always say in terms of creatives, we say yes, do make a festive creative, and to because short form is largely consumed in a portrait mode. So we tell our brands, don't miss out on creating a creative in portrait mode. So do not just have a landscape. So that's another one. Three is because the short video format is again a snacking sort of content. So we also advise brands that keep your creatives very very short, as short as possible, which is high on engagement or high on quirkiness. So those are some of the advices which we give to our brands.
I mean, our creative team would be very happy to know all this, because this is very much a part of their agenda when they are talking to their clients. And thank you for sharing. And with this, I want to move on to the next question. And this next question is actually going to help a lot of our agency partners available here today.
Yeah.
And tell me, what are those, because you talk to brands day in, day out. And I know some of the bigger brands that you're talking to. I also know that you have a very robust pipeline of the startups that you're working with. So
Yeah.
what are those hacks, like, or if I could, rephrase it by saying, what are those top three pointers that you give the brands while you are, like collaborating with creators? Because
Yeah.
it's a very sensitive zone to win. Either it could be
Absolutely.
a super hit or it could just fall flat on your face. So what do they do? How do brands handle creators?
Sure. I think that's a very good question for multiple reasons. I think while a lot of brands are working with creators, they are facing multitude of problems on both sides, creator side as well as brand side. Uh, because we have more say towards the brand versus the creator side, and hence we can optimize more on the brand side. So we always, as in, we tell the brands that the creator is known for his creation, which is the content. So let him or let the creator do his job. So while you can create guardrails about your brand safety, your brand guidelines, give the openness or freedom to the creator so that they can create their own creatives.
Right.
In fact, I have seen while working with your team in the past that wherever the brands have taken the creative. Sorry, I lost you there. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. So in fact, wherever we have seen that ShareChat team has built the creatives, the performance has always been better. So a humble suggestion to the brands is that let the creators do their job of creating the content, create a guardrail for brand safety, brand guidelines. Another aspect is, while there are top creators who are engaging with various brands and putting posts on daily basis, it becomes super important that how do you identify upcoming creators, because that's where you will be able to break the clutter. While the task is very painful and hard, but if one can do it, it will be an amazing thing. One, the cost will be lesser. Two, you will be breaking the clutter. Three, you will have good engagement with users. The last one is do not do one odd campaign with creators. As I said earlier, advertising is all about reach and frequency. So if you work with a creator, do one campaign or one post, you are getting some reach, but you're not building frequency. And hence, it is important that while festive is there, while you'll get many quarters down the line, have have a campaign wherein you talk about multiple posts or a long term campaign so that you're able to build frequency as well in the time defined for yourself. So those are the three hacks which we generally suggest to our brands, which pretty much optimizes their campaigns.
I think bang on, and I couldn't agree more with the last statement which you made, because interestingly, today the world has changed. I remember when I was in the traditional media some 5 years back, and we used to take probably, Diwali as a festive or Christmas as a festive. But today, I mean, look at the amazing scenario we have, I mean, throughout the year, it's festive because finally, I think, all of us have reached this stage wherein we are not only celebrating, imagine in North, people are celebrating Onam Sadhya. They're going to various restaurants and consuming the food. And similarly, I see, North Indian festivals being celebrated in South and West. And it has largely happened, because of two reasons. Of course, one is, the young working population, which has migrated to various zones. But also today, I think the youth today takes pride in that fact, and that's the reason today vernacular has become so robust. Just adding to your point, Mukesh, and also sharing it with everybody on the call, we have a very robust influencer program of our own. And like you said that we do not give scripts to the creators, but at the same time we ensure that it is done in a very controlled manner. It is done with effective creators. For example, if you're a brand sitting in Nasik, I would give you a creator which is, a demand of your region and not probably just a Mumbai creator. So that's our little way of, being part of this journey of yours. And with that, Anushka, let's take Mukesh to the third question, and, which is to do with the youth of today, because it could be any brand, Mukesh. It could be an HUL today, or it could be a startup, it could be a BFSI, or it could be an FMCG. Everybody knows that the pulse of youth has to be touched with the campaign. And tell me, what is it that the brands today, and what's the message that you want to send across to startups or the bigger brands when you say that, keep this in mind while you are planning for the festive? How do they tap the youth?
Yeah, I think again, it's all about consumption, and all the brands know that youth are the ones who are consuming. As you said earlier, the youth is celebrating festival across north, south, east, west, irrespective of their affinity. So so youth becomes a huge market for all the brands, and I think today youth has lesser time. Today youth in India is on digital. Today youth is even more diverse. Like what we say that unity in diversity, but I think our youth has even become even more diverse, with different characteristics, likings, consumption behavior, etc. Today's youth is heavy on video. They consume a lot of video content and not so much on text. Today's youth is engaging with quirky, bite size or snacking content. So the advice to the brands, and the what we are also doing is that we should identify the right platforms where the youth is engaging. Now, whether it is ShareChat, Moj, whether it is Glance, whether it is a gaming platform, whether it is an OTT, whether it's an audio OTT, identify your youth, what TG they are in, and identify that specific platform and go after it, instead of just spending money on Google and Facebook.
Uh, Anything specific to any category that you would want to highlight on? Like possibly you said the increase in automobile and the mobile or the FMCG. So is it like category specific, or do you see this as a generic statement for all brands?
Can you come again? What do you mean by category?
I'm saying, do you see this? What the you spoke about how to touch youth and
Yeah,
probably block money only for, let's say, a Google or a Facebook, but spread it across where the youth
yeah,
is. I'm
yeah.
saying, can I say that this is a statement which is applicable to all categories? It could be an automobile client or a FMCG or an education or anybody else.
It is. Let me just explain a little bit more. So probably that will bring more clarity.
Yeah,
So there are different kind of youths again in the whole young India. So there is a youth which probably would want to buy a 250 rupees footwear versus a youth which can buy a 1,000 rupees footwear. So that's where my point is that do not paint them with the same brush. Identify your platform which enables you to reach out to the right youth of yours. So that's where my point is that the platform which gives you the right TG of yours is where you should go after. And that's on the platform side. And on the creative and communication side is that try and keep it very short. Try and keep it video if possible. Try and keep it quirky if possible. uh, Again, as the youth is diverse, you cannot have a similar same creative in southern India and using it the same in western India, or maybe eastern India. Try and have a local flavor.
absolutely. So what I understand is, Mukesh, and I'm just reiterating it for the benefit of everybody present, is that we need to be on the platforms where the youth is.
Yeah,
It could be any platform, it could be any language. Plus, if I have to actually effectively reach out to you, I have to talk to them in a customized language of their choice. So
absolutely.
probably a Sunny Dwell creative might not work in South.
A Kerala market.
Yeah, in a Kerala market, or a influencer like Krishu Baby might not fly off in, let's say, a campaign
Absolutely.
targeted for west or northern parts of India. So yeah, I mean, points taken, Mukesh, and thanks for sharing. And with this, the last question that I want to understand, from you is, you've spent many years, I think 2012 onwards, you have
Yeah,
been with Media, and prior to that, you have been with media advertising industry on a whole. And tell us, probably one or two those campaigns, those festive campaigns, which would have left that, that touch on your mind, and you still remember them. And why is it? I mean, what actually brings in those fond memories of that campaign?
sure. So I think the beauty, or maybe the con of advertising is recency always plays a big impact. Whatever you've seen recently is what you remember the most. Because today the content is changing every day, and I might remember some of the old campaigns, but in the last few years, because of so much content, you hardly remember things. So I think the one of the creative which I really loved recently during Rakhi was from Real Fruit Juice, wherein the sister was tying knot, as in Rakhi, to his brother, her brother, and he, he took the Rakhi out and he kept it somewhere, and she got really pissed off. And that's when the family brings the whole box of all the Rakis over the years. It was a very, very beautiful and touching campaign. Another one which I remember, which is I think few years old, is again a Go Local campaign. It was of HP, wherein a kid helping a roadside vendor to sell diyas. I think that was a very touching campaign. And if you look at it, the flavor, it was Go Local. It was the music is regional. It was a Rajasthani folk music which they have used. The attire of that roadside vendor was again Rajasthani. So I think they have played a very beautiful creative by using local and messaging that go local. So that was another beautiful campaign which I remember around Diwali. The last one is how can we miss AI? The way Cadbury used Shahrukh in one of the AI campaigns, wherein he named a lot of shops. So I think these are the three creatives which I still remember, and I'm quite fond of these creatives around
I
festive.
think you said it, and I love when you said that what actually worked, in all three creatives, as I was listening to you, is the brands could actually go local and touch the pulse of the audience. It was about go extensive, go wide, touch the pulse, go local, talk about languages. When I'm talking to, about a kid helping a Rajasthani old women selling diyas, Not only do they took care of, the outfit of the women, they the entire environment, including the music and everything, was actually talking about that particular region. And yes, I mean, I think that's what we look forward to as a publisher. We also look forward to, creatives which are local, which are language specific, which actually celebrate the flavor of the festivals. And with that, I would like to thank you. A very heartfelt thanks, Mukesh, for joining us today.